Hello everyone, we are back and we're playing Mono Blue Belcher. So this is going to be the first time I played the list, or I play the deck. Just grabbed a list off of the internet. Looks pretty stock as far as I can tell. The spell snares seem to be a concession in the main deck to energy, and beyond that, I think this deck is one of the few that can really sort of hang with energy, it seems like. So we're gonna give it a shot. Hopefully I can draw on some of my combo deck experience with like Lotus Bloom to get us there. I know I haven't posted a video for a little bit. I've been a bit busy with the holidays and then kind of just waiting on this ban list update. But I figured I'd get one more league in here before the ban list, and then hopefully do some brewing in the new format that I think everyone is expecting at this point. So pretty exciting. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so round number one, we are on the play against an unknown opponent who has not revealed a Gigantha or anything of the sort. We have 4 lands. We also have a Philology to potentially search for a card we might need. We have Shoal that we can use in the meantime. I guess this is a keep. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I mean, I feel like Philology to look for a Belcher is reasonable, so we'll see. I am probably going to lead on the Hydroelectric because that's the card I'm actually going to want least, and then turn 2 we can sink and either hold up Jawari or play Philology. Probably it's going to be Shoal pitch Shoal, although that's an argument for playing the Philology on 2 rather than holding up the Jawari, because I can defend a 2-drop with Shoal if needed. So we have kept, and yeah, I mean, this deck doesn't really have that much dig. You're kind of reliant on like hitting a Tameshi Belcher, or in more extreme cases, yes, you can whir for Belcher, but I feel like it doesn't really have that much dig. I mean, Thunder Trap, I guess, is dig, but I don't like how you can't chain your dig together. So like you can't Philology into a Thunder Trap into a Belcher, for example, because the Philology is non-creature. The Thunder Trap is also, I think, is it non? Yeah, it's non-creature for the Thunder Trap as well. So who knows? We will see what our opponent comes back with, because it seems like they're just chilling here for a second. Okay, so our opponent has mulliganed to 5. On our upkeep, we will pass to the main and play a tapped... Oh wait, no, we can play that for life. So then I think I actually am going to play the Teachings. Yes, we'll play the Teachings. Yeah, I potentially want the 2 untapped lands. That means I can also potentially hold up Sync as interaction as well. Opponent is on, well, Tron or maybe some form of Eldrazi. Pick up another Disrupting Shoal. So we will play the Lab, paying the 3, and then we are going to go for the Philology. We can pick up a Lotus Bloom or a Suppression Ray. I think we want the... Do we want the Lotus Bloom? Yeah, we will take the Lotus Bloom, and then we'll suspend it here. The Suppression Ray I don't think is as critical, and if I get a Tameshi, I guess I want the Bloom. They have a Talisman. Do I want to Shoal this? I think no. Well, what else am I shoaling out of them, though? And this could turn into like a Thought Knot next turn, but I do have Jawari for that. I think I am going to Shoal it. Shoal pitch Shoal. I mean, they're on 5, so I don't necessarily mind going down the card as much. Seagate is a decent pickup. Pay the 3 life. We're holding up the ability to Jawari, to Sync, whatever it is we need. They have an Ugin's Lab. And they don't exile anything to it. Bloom ticks down again. We pick up a Belcher. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I think here I could play the Jawari and then have the sync, and given that I need to tempo them, that's probably better. I can like sync their play, Bloom comes off. Yeah, so I'll play the Jawari. I could also shoal if pitch if I needed to. So I think we're in decent shape here. If they have some sort of haymaker again, we just sync it. The ring. So we're just gonna go ahead and sync that. Our Bloom is gonna come off. Hopefully I counted that correctly. Yes, I did. Draw for turn. We have another shoal hitting all 4 of them. Belcher. And are they scooping it up? Yeah, they do scoop it up. Interestingly, they could have waited to see our list, but they don't. All right, so against Tron. I think I want Force of Negations. Harbinger also seems pretty good. Commandeer. Dispute, no. Snare, I think, is not as good. Consign, definitely. They're not really going to counter us with like a pact or anything, or with a what's it called? With a like an instant speed thing. I mean, they could have Kozilek's Command, but I'm not as worried about that. What else can I cut here? I feel like I don't want to cut the cycling of things. Flare seems good still. I feel like I don't want to cut Bloom, even though they could be a Chalice deck. I mean, Disrupting Shoal is kind of not at its best because they have more expensive spells generally. So I think Force Consign is maybe just better, right? Yeah, I'm not really like pitching a lot of 4s. They don't have as many 2s and 3s. So we're just kind of winging this, but I feel like this makes sense on paper. We have Force, we have Consign, and then Flare is the better counterspell against like the creatures. Shoal seems not as good because I think our mana costs just don't really line up as well. All right, so we're on the draw. We have 1 land. We do have Force Pitch Tameshi. We do have, if we find a second land, Thundertrap Flare. And we also have Consign. So, I mean, this hand does need to just draw running lands, but if we do, it is pretty good. We have like a decent amount of interaction. I think maybe the risk is too high though, right? Because okay, so we have Flare, Thundertrap, we have Force Pitch, and we do have 3 good interactive spells. Is that enough to keep this when we don't have the Bloom for the Tameshi even? No, I think this there's too high of a risk because if we just draw nothing, if we just like if we miss the land drop, it's so bad. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan. Let me know what you think in the comments, perhaps. This is, I think, better. So we'll keep this. We have Flare, Thundertrap, that's good. Bain, Hydroelectric Suppression, Seagate. So that's 4 lands. I probably don't need all 4. So we can get rid of the Bain Veil, I think. And then Tameshi is potentially business. They've got a Devourer of Destiny. We aren't going to be able to counter a turn 2 play. We can counter the turn 3 play. Unless we draw a Consign, in which case we could counter it. Opponent did keep 7. A little bit scary. And this could be like a turn 2 Thought Knot, which I wouldn't like. Map. Okay, map is less scary than what it could be. Bauble is a little bit annoying. Not the worst, though. It only affects our blooms. So we'll play Suppression Ray. I guess, no, it does also affect some of our counter magic. Never mind, it affects a lot of things. Bauble's a big problem. So they've got 3 here. Talisman, they can crack the map. Okay, they are waiting on that, though, as makes sense. Another Suppression Ray. So here I'm going to play the Lab, paying the 3. Play the Hydroelectric, or play the Thundertrap. And I will take Whir. I can get a bloom into play that way. And then next turn I can like end step whir, and then hopefully do something with that if we're not too late. I mean, they do have the Devourer as, I don't know, they put the Devourer underneath, so we need them to like not have business, which is not that likely. Like a Thought Knot here just kind of wrecks us. They could just have like the Ring or something though, and then maybe we can get there. Trinisphere, that's actually not the worst. If that's the best they can do, I don't hate that. I mean, the flares are not great, but... So, I mean, I can hold up either Whir for Bloom or Hardcast Flare. Just like play a tempo game. Next turn, either this tapped, or if we feel like we have to go for it, we could go for yeah, we could potentially go for Tameshi. What would this be? Tameshi. Okay, so we put a bloom into play. Question is, do they have removal for it? So far, no. Pick up another Whir. Okay. So if we go for the Tameshi here, how much mana do we get up to? So we have the Hydroelectric untapped. That's 3 mana, play the Tameshi. Bloom 3 white. Tameshi, bounce the land for the bloom. So then I have the bloom back in play, right? Okay, yeah, so I have 3 mana, bloom in play, 3 lands in play. And then each bloom is plus 2 mana. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Whir for Belcher and activate is 10 mana. I would draw a few cards, but I think that is not enough. Yeah, I would have to draw. I mean, I could like leave the bloom in play, but then I can't defend it. I think I like the idea of playing the Ray, holding up Flare, and then just going for it next turn. Because like if they didn't do anything last turn, what are they going to do this turn that I really care about? Yeah, okay. I'm going to play the Ray and then just hold up Flare. Hardcast Flare. Yeah, again, I may have done the math wrong on that. Again, I've never cast a Tameshi before, but I think that's right? We'll see. What are they going for? Kozilek's Command. 2 spawns, scries X, and draws a card. Yeah, that's going to happen. Oh no, 3 spawns. Never mind. I can't... Yeah, I don't think I can let them just like... And they do get to play a potentially big spell here. I do get to eat bloom, or I get to re-whir. Oh no, I don't want to have to re-whir though, if I can help it. Oh, we'll see what they do. They did 1 top, 2 bottoms. They found something they liked. If they get the Ugins, whatever. Or Thought Knot. Alright, so here I Flare of Denial this. And then they do have some more mana, but if they get the Devourer, they still can't play it. They do have Bauble they could activate. They have a Karn. So Karn is a problem. I basically need to counter that, because if I let that happen... Yeah, I mean, what am I doing if I let that happen? Which does now set me back another turn. But I think I have no other choice. Well, actually more than another turn, because now I need to whir again for another bloom. All right, Seagate is fine. I guess I'll play the hydroelectric. I'm less likely to want that than the Seagate. So I could, if I were for Belcher here, actually let me calculate this. So if I were for Belcher, I do have 5 lands in play. I can crack that for blue to Meshi, and then I have 1 bloom, 2 bloom, so 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana. I could Seagate, put a Belcher into play, or do I just wait? And I think maybe we do go for it here, because they could draw a Haymaker. We're going to see, and we'll draw 5 cards. 12 mana is enough that if I were for Belcher, I can then activate the Belcher. So hitting any of my 2 whirs, I potentially get to do something there. Oh no, but all right, yeah, let's do it. So here we can whir for a bloom. We can crack it for a Tameshi. We can then crack, bring a bloom back, returning a hydroelectric. Let's see what they do. That just happens. All right, so we bring a bloom back. Now we can do that again, returning the other bloom. We'll bring back a Seagate. We drew, what do we? Oh, only once each turn. Never mind. All right. So here, I think we're just passing. And then we can hold, well, next turn we can Seagate. I didn't actually count it. We do have Flare up, which is nice. I didn't realize this was only once a turn. This card's a lot worse than I thought. I thought it was for every card you return. But let's see. I mean, we do have mana, so that's good. We're just fearlessly playing into a Trinisphere, which I like. Go for a map, that's okay. I mean, they do have to crack it to get the Devourer. Should have maybe been attacking with the Thunder Trap, but I don't know. Question is, what other land do they get? They get the Mines. They've completed Tron. 7, 8 mana. So here, I think I should be able to Seagate into a... I think I should be able to Seagate into a Bloom, probably. This will draw me 5 to 10. Hopefully. So how much mana do I have? I have 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each land represents plus 2 mana. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So if I spend 7 on Seagate, I can play and activate Belcher, 15, and then 16, 17, 18. In particular, I could also find Whir. So I think I'm into that. The key thing I want to do is not play this Hydroelectric first, because it's 1 extra card that I'll see. So if I just pay 7 and hardcast a Seagate, we draw 5. We do also have like Jawari up if we need to, and we do find a Belcher, so that's good. So now I think we just have an unlock. So we'll play a Seagate, shocking it in. We will Tameshi back a Bloom, paying white, and bouncing the hydroelectric. Draw a card. And bring that back. And then we can make some white mana. Make a blue mana. Bounce the bloom. Turn the Seagate. We bounce the bloom again. Bounce the bloom, paying the 1. Bring that back. Up to 8, 9. Pick that up. That is 8 mana. So now we are holding up either Force or Sink or Flare, honestly. Any of those, all good. We're going to play the Belcher and activate shooting our opponent. All right, so we win the match. A nice win over Tron. I do like how it feels like you have a decent amount of control when you are not finding your combo. You almost feel like a control deck with a combo finish where like your goal is draw enough cards and then eventually you'll find a combo, which is pretty cool. I don't love how the Thunder Traps and Philagis don't like hit each other, so you can't really chain cantrips, quote unquote. But the counter magic is powerful, even into a Trinisphere here. I mean, just having multiple cancels was kind of good enough. Now, maybe they didn't have the most threat heavy hand, but they did have multiple pieces of hate into like a Thought-Knot, so it's not the worst hand on their part. All right, let's go to the next round. Okay, we are again on the play. We have a Tameshi, we have some spell snares. Opponent has not revealed Gigantha. And we have lands. No bloom. I mean, we have 8 hits for Bloom, 4 hits for Belcher. I guess we keep this on the back of like spell snares. So fine. Not super excited about it, but part of this is I also guess like limit testing the deck. I don't know necessarily like what the best and not as good keepable hands are. We'll play Suppression Ray because the white mana is more important than the black if we get like Thought Seized. Although, yeah, that's fair. And we're passing. So then, opponent's turn. We are just going to pass through that. Then we're going to start holding up Spell Snare. Bain comes into play tapped. Ooh, it is the Mirror. That means these spell snares are not so good. So we'll play a Bain Coast. Passing back. Yeah, I'm not super excited about playing the Mirror with this hand. Spell Snare, I can counter some of their creatures, so that's good at least. Pact is useful eventually. I'll play Archive. I think holding up the Sink eventually is more useful. I have the second Archive if I really need it. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, so they're doing nothing, probably holding up a counterspell of their own, it feels like. Still doing nothing. This could be fetching Bloom. We do find a Bloom. So now we have a choice to make between Teachings or Sink. I think we're going to play tapped Teachings and then just hold up Sink. I expect them to go for a okay, hydroelectric is totally fine. That doesn't matter. Probably that's an indicator that they have blue flare, but I can't really do much about that. So that's just kind of gonna happen. We're on their main. Again, what I most want to see is like Falaji type stuff. But we'll see. Attacking, getting in for 1. Brings back memories of Simeon's Spirit Guide beatdown. So they go for the Belcher. So we probably just have to sink this. The other option is, yeah, no, we do just have to sink this. So then the question is going to be, do they, well, we could, I mean, they could definitely have blue flare. And if they have blue flare, we're probably just dead. I guess we could draw another sink. We could draw a land, in which case we could pact the blue flare. I'm gonna sink it, I guess, because regardless, we have to get that out of their hand, and then we just need to top deck well in that case. Which I don't know that we're gonna do it, but oh, okay, it happens. So Bloom ticks down. Draw for turn. Suppression Ray does mean we can play Pact if we need to. So here, I think I'm going to play... do I play the Tameshi? Or do I just hold up Pact, Snare, Pact the Belcher, pay it? They didn't have the counter previously. I think I'm going to play the Tameshi. Maybe they counter, but if they do, then they do. They could certainly have Flare here on my Pact, but can't do anything about that. We'll pay that on our upkeep. Hopefully we draw like a Force of Negation or something. Counterspell. Okay. Play a Jawari. They have 4 mana left. All right, so we will pay our Pact. And our Bloom comes off next turn. Draw for turn. Another Tameshi is not really what we need. Maybe they don't have another Belcher, though. Who knows? I don't know what's in their hand if they're like not playing it and not, and maybe they have snares themselves. If they're not playing it, I think they missed 1 land drop, right? Because we just missed a land drop there and we were on the play. And maybe they didn't. No, yeah, because they try and play it 2 turns in a row. All right, so they're passing. They could certainly counter this. But, I mean, we do get to bring it back with Tameshi then. All right, so we draw for turn. We draw the Belcher. Okay, I mean... Sure. So what does this do? Return target artifact or enchantment with an extra value. Okay, so I could actually bring a Belcher back after it gets countered. Yeah, I mean, we'll go for it. Force Negation would be bad, but again, they're probably not playing Force Negation main deck. We do have a lot of mana here. So what, we have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 mana. So it would cost me... Okay, so they have Pact of Negation. So that's going to happen. So it would cost me a little bit of mana to bring this Belcher back, but I think I'm going to try to. Right? Because, like, what else am I doing? Bloom. Okay, the one. All of my lands are tap lands, annoyingly. I guess Inundated Archive is the most useful to have in my hand. Draw a card. Pick up a Thunder Trap. That's decent. Okay, so now I can make some white mana. And I could Tameshi back Belcher. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Okay. And we'll pick up, I guess, another Inundated Archive. And now we Tameshi back Bloom for 1. Picking up Bain. And we can activate and shoot them. And yeah, we got there. All right. Cool. Very cool. Okay, so what do we want? We want Mystical Dispute, definitely. We want Force of Negation. Consign against Belcher. Pact defensively, yes. Commandeer, I think, is even fair. Spell Snare is really not good against them. We do get to counter the setup. I don't think it's worth it, though. Harbinger does turn off the white from Suppression Ray, but if you have the Bloom in play already, then the Tameshi just loops, and it's not a huge deal. Unable to Scream is only on creatures, so, I mean, yes, you could hit a Tameshi. That feels a little bit niche, though. Disrupting Shoal, given that all of my cards match their cards, I think is pretty good. Flare, I think, is decent. I don't know what to cut exactly. I could cut a land on the draw, probably. But I don't want to cut too many things. So... I mean, Commandeer, yes. Force, yes. Consign, yes. Do want my creatures. And maybe I cut, like... Philology is just good. Maybe we cut like one Shoal, or, you know, for being the card disadvantage on pitch. Actually, I don't really have many 4s to counter Belcher, and I don't actually care about countering that many of their other things. So maybe we do this. We have the disputes in. We cut like one Philology and one land on the draw, Bain. All right, we could do that. Again, I am just improvising the sideboarding. I have not, you know, played this deck before. This is my second game, or second match, I guess, with the deck. But I mean, I definitely like it. Counting the math is good. I wish the creatures could chain into creature, although that would maybe be too good, honestly. This hand, we have a Belcher, we have some lands, we have a Lotus Bloom, we have counter magic. This hand seems excellent. We will be keeping. All right, so can't do anything on turn 1, so we're just gonna F6 through that. They're not really gonna be able to do anything on turn 1 either, other than suspend a Bloom. We even get to like turn 3 Whir for another Bloom. Potentially, like, if we draw another counterspell or something like that, do something interesting there. Or if we draw another land besides the Sink, then we can hold up like Sink and Pact on our Belcher turn, assuming we draw one more land. Actually, 2 more lands if the Sink, so maybe not as likely, but very possible. Dispute's a good pickup. That's another counterspell we can hold up. So we'll play Plaza. They did not suspend a Bloom, so we have the Bloom advantage. And they've got another Plaza. Force of Negation. All right, I mean, we can just keep drawing fantastically. I'm going to play that untapped because the life isn't really going to matter in this matchup. Maybe makes them think about what we could have. You know, do we have a Jawari disruption or something? They have to be mindful. Does also, you know, just raise the question of like, okay, then they're thinking about, okay, what are they holding up, right? So here I will play the sink or the springs, and we're looking at end step on their turn getting a war. We have Force Pitch Whir on their turn here to defend our Whir. We have Pact and Dispute to defend our Belcher. I think we're very favored from this spot, but who knows? Not 100% sure of that. So here we will Whir. This is not critical either, but it's nice to have, I guess. Okay. So yeah, because we have the Bloom coming off next turn anyway. All right, so they did... Oh, I didn't even notice, but they did play a land. Okay, so we go to our turn. Force Negation a little less useful, but we'll cast a Bloom. Their Pacts are off. We're going to draw for turn. See what we get. Hydroelectric. So we could... so if we play Hydroelectric, we have... what, 6-10 mana. So we do have Force Pact, Belcher activate. Yeah, we're gonna play that, shock it in, or bolt it in, I guess. And we will... Actually, I could use one of these blooms to play the Belcher so that I don't have to spend my mana in these chunks, maybe. No, okay, I will just play the Belcher. If I spend both of them and then I don't end up having this pact happen, then I could die, but I could also just like kill them in the upkeep, so who knows. I will probably go for either Dispute or Force first, depending on what they do. Okay, they go for a sink. So I can dispute this. If I have to pact, I can upkeep Belcher them, is the thing. So what are they pacting? They're pacting my Belcher. So I could pact their pact. Alternately, how are they paying for their pact? They're just not. They don't have a Bloom coming off. I mean, be my guest. All right. Yeah. I don't think they play Angel's Grace. I mean, maybe they've got the sweet Angel's Grace sideboard tech. They could have Consign, I guess, but we could fight over the Consign. Oh no, they get to replicate it enough times. Actually, no, that's a reason to have countered the pact. Because we can stop 2 Consign triggers, but then they have to replicate it 3 times. Okay, no, they didn't have it. Yeah, so actually I guess we should have fought over it there. Yeah, because they could have potentially gotten around it. I mean, were that the case, okay, then we just let them pay it, and then we untap, go to their turn. They probably don't do anything. We have a Force if they have a Belcher. We can like whir for a Belcher. So we definitely still have game in the longer game there. But interesting position. I mean, I guess there is some game theory to be had as to whether or not we think they have a Consign versus they have like another hard counter. But All right, we'll see. I don't know. Anyway, we are going to round number 3. We're up 2-0. Some cool games so far, and yeah, let's keep winning, hopefully. All right, so we have a hand here that has mana, a Thunder Trap, a little bit of interaction with the Shoal, potentially Hydroelectric. Opponent is on a Gigantha deck, aka probably Energy. I think I'm going to keep this largely on the strength of Double Bloom being just a ton of mana. And then like I do have like Shoal, Bain to potentially buy time. So even on the draw, I am gonna try it. Hopefully they have like a 2-drop rather than a 1-drop, although Bain can just also be Fog against Energy, so that's decent. Although Flooded Strand, okay, no, maybe. Flooded Strand is a bit of a weird choice. Maybe they're the Jeskai Energy. What else did... No, it's... I mean, so far it looks like normal Energy. Thought they usually played the red fetches. No, I guess they play white fetches. Yeah, they don't need the red. So, alright, we're going to suspend 2 blooms. And then we can play a tapped either... I think Seagate is going to be the thing I'm... Well, there's a world where I play Seagate. No, I'm going to play the top Seagate. And then if I... Because Shoal is potentially more useful here. If they play like an Ajani or something, I will Shoal pitch Bain. I'd like to not have to pitch Bain if I don't need to. Okay, no, but that we do need to counter. We do get to play, you know, like Hydroelectric Thunder Trap. And hopefully find a Belcher with that. Pay 3. Play a Thunder Trap. We do find a Whir. We also find Flare. So with 2 blooms, I am kind of on track to Whir for Belcher with 10 mana on turn 4. So I think with that in mind, I am going to take Whir. And then I play like tapped Hydroelectric or one of them next turn. And then hopefully something the turn after. I will block here if I can. They have an Amped Raptor. Okay, so... And that's an Energy. And we just need to live. Okay, Surveil is kind of good for us. I mean, they do... What do? They put Arid Mace into the yard. So they hit another Raptor. Alright, not catastrophic. I can block one of these Raptors next turn. So I do pick up Tameshi here. I could play the Tameshi as a blocker, but it would come at the cost of 3 life. That would save me 2 damage from one of these Amped Raptors. I think that is probably not worth it. The other option is... Well, no, the Tameshi can be worth more mana the next turn. I could play the Hydroelectric, untapped, sink, and then use the Tameshi next turn to potentially go +1 mana. Let me see if that actually gives me a window or whether it's just fake. So I could then have 3 lands, 2 blooms, play the Tameshi, Whir in hand, bring back or crack both blooms, bring back 1 bloom, bring back the other bloom. I'd have 4 mana left over. That would get me up to 10, and even they can't, there's no window for them to kill the Tameshi in response. So I think I do like playing Hydroelectric Lab, shocking it in, and then having sync for whatever shenanigans they try. And then on like beginning of combat, I can bounce this Guide of Souls and hopefully save myself a bunch of damage. The Static Prison on the Thunder Trap. Yeah, that's gonna happen. I have another Guide of Souls. That's also going to happen. I have another Amped Raptor. That is also going to happen. I could hit the guide now. But maybe they hit something I actually care about. I kind of actually don't care about what they could have here so far. The life doesn't matter. Hit a lightning bolt. They can bolt me. And now I'm going to go ahead and sink their guide. And okay, yeah, I mean, they get to hit me for what? 7? 1 guide? Oh wait, oh no, it's 5. No, it's 6. Yeah, it's 6. Oh man, close. Very close. Oh boy, okay. Bloom's coming in. Draw for turn. We have, again, 9 mana. But we can Tameshi. Go for white, blue, Tameshi back a Bloom, 1 white, bouncing a Hydroelectric. They're conceding that? I mean, I guess they didn't actually see the whir yet, though. Why? I mean, that feels kind of crazy. I mean, we do have a ton of mana, but sure. I mean, I guess we do get to Seagate for a bunch, but based on what they saw, that feels a little premature. I don't know. Okay, so unable to scream, we want the creature removal. Spell Snare against the 2-drops, definitely want that. Pact, not as good. Dispute, no. Consign, no. Force of Negation, no. Harbinger is kind of interesting. I feel like probably no. Shoal, we have a bunch of 2-drops, so Shoal's like okay. Flare's like kind of also okay. I think Flare's a little better than Shoal. I don't think I want to cut all 4, but maybe we cut like 2. And we cut like 1 Flare, because they do have removal for stuff sometimes. And then do I want... I don't think I want Harbinger. Maybe on the play, but probably not. Alright, yeah, we could go like this. Still have some counter magic. Alright, so we've got Double Bloom, Tameshi, Thundertrap, Shoal Whir. This is a very similar hand to last time. I am going to keep it. I think this hand is decent. I mean, we are a little bit less reliable on our shoaling, but we can also shoal pitch Thundertrap because we already have the Whir in hand. So if I need to shoal like a 2-drop, I will. They have a Surveil on 1. Okay. Honestly, this deck feels kind of like Ad Nauseam. You're just planning and you kind of have all of your bases covered, which I like. The only downside about this is we only have the 1 land. We could potentially get in a little bit of trouble there. But let's see. I do not want to auto yield. Hang on. That is not... I could not cancel it in time. We may very well lose the game for that. That's annoying. Ugh. Alright, so I probably am shocking in the Hydroelectric. I mean, we don't really have any other option other than to just try to go from here. So it's just, it is what it is. We could get a Flare. We could get Unable to Scream. I think I'd rather get Flare. And then potentially, you know, Flare whatever next creature they play. I do have Shoal Pitch Whir if I need to. I would have actually liked to find a land there. We do have the same sort of, if we can find a third land, we have like the Tameshi. We might still have the Tameshi Whir Bloom loop. I didn't actually count it. We can certainly pitch one of these Whirs, though. So, I mean, I guess if they have Blood Moon, that's an option. Well, yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. Another Ajani. So they should have attacked first, I think, right? Because does it put a counter on? No. I don't know. So, I mean, this is... They don't have any other red permanent, though, either. So we just get hit for 2, and they make another cat. Oh, no, that's a +1/+1 counter. But this is the same... Okay, this is the same damage either way. It doesn't really matter. Land is what we need. Okay, I mean, that sort of counts. It's not something we can flare with. We do just have flare, pitch, or shoal, pitch, flare, shoal, pitch, whir as needed. Blade just covered via that. Okay, they use that now, so we're gonna get hit for a little bit. We also have flare sacking our own Tameshi if it comes to that. Okay, they have Chant. That's pretty bad. So I need to... Okay, so I can shoal for X is equal to 1, or I can hardcast Flare. I think I like shoal X is equal to 1 more. Yeah. Alternately, I could whir for Bloom first. Does that do anything for me? No, I don't think it does. So we'll cast a Bloom, cast another Bloom, draw for turn, sink. So we could go to 5. Probably we want to do that. And then we're going to go into a Tameshi turn and just try and do as much looping as we can. Make a bunch of mana, whir. Yeah, I mean, that's the line. Blue and white. So we will Tameshi back a Bloom, returning Hydroelectric. And yep, Bloom is back. So I should play a land here. I'm just kind of debating if I want to shock anything in. Going to 5, I mean, they could have double bolt. I think they would have used a bolt on the Tameshi if they had it, right? The question is, do I need the mana for anything? Let me just bring the other one back real quick. The first one resolved. I feel like the second one should as well. We do have a I mean, we do have flare as an option too if we had to. We can like generate all of our mana and then flare whatever their play is. We'll generate more mana. I didn't actually count any of this. I probably should. That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana, really. So we do just have exactly enough. It could be 11 mana without. But I am gonna shock in the Seagate. I'll pay 3 going to 5. Return a Bloom. We'll return another Bloom. All right. So then we make a billion mana. We were. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Put a Belcher in. Make some blue. Crack the Belcher. And we have the flare if we needed it. All right, so we got there through the Orum's Chant. I think I mean, I definitely misclicked a little bit. We shouldn't have been in this situation in the first place because we should have shoaled the first Ajani. But sometimes you misclick and win anyway. All right, we are 3-0 so far. Deck is feeling great. Okay, this time we're on the draw and we have mana and Belcher. So we're going to keep this. So MTG the Rock. Question is, are they playing the Rock? They're playing Windswept Heath. They could be. Temple Garden, probably not. What is Temple Garden? Gilded Goose. So maybe some sort of like Sam combo or something. And they can be fast, but we just need to be a little bit faster. So we're going to spend a couple blooms. Tapped Archive, and yeah, turn 2 Philagi. Turn 3, hopefully we get to like hold up Sync to disrupt them. I need them to not like turn 3 combo us, basically. We do need to find another land also. Philagi alternately could find us like some free counter magic, and that might do something. Auriok Champion, okay. And they've got an Onslaught Pride. That's some life gain. Yeah, I mean that's gonna get large quickly. Buying Veil, please. Flare of Denial is decent. I mean, I do get to like counter whatever their play is with this then. And I get to gain a life. It's only at the beginning of your end steps. So that doesn't really matter. We get to either get Sync or Bloom. I will take the Sync because I don't need the Bloom at this point. And I'd rather have the land. And that's potentially something I can do something with next turn. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. 7 permanents. So the Onslaught Pride's not going completely crazy yet. See what this is. Probably just countering whatever it is. Guide of Souls. Do I just counter that? I mean, they don't have the energy yet, but a keyword there is yet. I mean, they would gain a life. They'll make a cat on end step. I think I actually let this happen because they don't have the energy for it yet. So as long as we can hold off the energy, it's just a 1/2. Now, if this is Bowmasters, okay, so that we're going to flare. Yeah, we'll flare that. And then they get to hit us for a little bit here. 3. The goose doesn't matter. Again, they still don't have life. 14. Get another cat. Note that they're not ascended. 6, 7, 8, 9. Gain more life. They do get an energy here. We go to our turn. We do have hydroelectric, so now we can play springs, paying the 3, down to 11, and we have either hydroelectric or sync, depending on what we need. Probably we need sync. We can like bounce something, and as long as we live the turn, then we should be good. Wild Growth Walker. So this is not going to result in any exploration yet, right? So gain a life. Yeah, they don't have any exploration yet. So this is a Malia combo, I guess. They do gain some life. They gain an energy. Carrion Feeder. Block, put a +1/+1 counter on Carrion Feeder. There's still no exploration happening, so I don't think this matters. I mean, they do gain the life from Guide of Souls. They have 0 cards in hand, though. That can happen. And now if I just bounce Guide of Souls, they clock us for 4, and then they're done? Yeah, I mean, I guess no reason to get fancy. Just bounce the guide. Yeah, they clock us for 4, go to 7, and let's play Belcher. And again, they can sack some things, but we're also we have enough life that we don't need, or we have enough cards in deck that we don't need to be worried about their life gain. They do get more cats here, but again, that's fine. Cast both of our blooms. The key part of playing a Lotus Bloom deck is drawing Lotus Bloom. It's much worse when you don't draw Lotus Bloom. Another Lotus Bloom. See, deck hurt us. I'm gonna play a Belcher, and that is gonna be the game. Boom. All right, any order. So they did stay to see our specific deck list. Wise. All right, so we want Unable to Scream creature deck. Harbinger. I think I'm a little less into. Spell Snare seems decent. Yeah. Consign. I mean, we can counter a trigger. I don't think that's good enough. Act, I think, is not that good, probably. Harbinger, like, could be okay. Dispute, no. Consign, no. Force, no. Shoal is, I think, pretty good with the number of 2-drops. Flare is also, I guess, decent. Although maybe they just have, I mean, do I really need all these shoals for the 2-drops in addition to the spell snares? Maybe not. So maybe we go down to, like, I could also shoal 1-drops. Maybe we go to like 3 flare, 2 shoal, unable to screams, and spell snares. And then we go like this. I could also keep 1 more flare and like 1 fewer land on the play. 1 fewer land being, whoops, too late. Never mind. All right, so what do we got? We got Sink, Hydroelectric. We've got our lands. We've got Philagi, Snare, Flare. I think I will keep this. This is pretty decent. I mean, the Philagis have to find something, but we have turn 1, hold up a land for Snare, turn 2, Philagi, and have Flare. So we have a decent control start while developing lands and digging a little bit. I feel like you can't really ask for much more. And they've got a Goose. All right, so Goose, one of the less scary 1-drops, honestly. It's not aggressive. Another Sink. I'll play a Sink because there's a chance I want the Hydroelectric. So, you know, keep my diversity of options open, and I will need to play at least one of these Sinks as a land, probably. So, no harm doing it now. Next turn, I can probably play the Hydroelectric. Let's see what their 2-drop of choice is. Maybe it'll be straight to 3-drop. That would be a little bit unfortunate. And what could they play? They could play like Grist. Birthing Ritual. That's getting spell snared. And now they've got a Carrion Feeder. Okay, that's not the worst. Okay, so we will play a hydroelectric. And now we can play Philology. And I can get back either Bain Veil or Disrupting Shoal. I think I'm going to take the Disrupting Shoal. We could have gotten like the Snare or something too. Next turn, I could get a Bain with another Philology potentially, if I felt like that's what I wanted. But this can counter a 3-drop if I have to, which is nice. It also like Philology back Snare next turn. So here it's gonna be Flare, sack the Philology. And we get hit for 1 by the Carrion Feeder. Pick up a Jawari. I think I'm okay playing that tapped. And then just play a Philology. We do hit Lotus Bloom. We also hit Seagate. I think I'll take the Lotus Bloom. Oh wait, we can't. So okay, I thought Philology was way better than it was. I thought this got back anything. Did I think that actually? Maybe I did. I don't know if I actually thought that. I was assuming we get back like the flare. It's worse than I thought it was. It's still good, but they have a Sam, so we can shoal that. I think we should shoal that. Got a Haywire Might. All right. I mean, this could hit our what's it called? Our Bloom in the upkeep. But Tameshi is a pretty good pickup to stop that. I'm going to play one of these tapped. And the question is, do I let whatever they have happen, or do I think I just play the Tameshi while I hopefully can. I hope to like fade things for a turn. And then the Bloom is 2 turns out. So then like I can hold up, if I draw nothing, I can just hold up the sink next turn. There is an argument to be made for, I guess, leaving the Bloom in my yard. Although I don't actually have any white mana yet anyway, so who knows. An Auriok Champion, that's okay. Bloom ticks down. Pick up a Thunder Trap. We will play that. Can't cast it with Offspring exactly, but so they can gain a life, that's okay. We do hit a Belcher. Yeah, so I guess we're taking the Belcher. And the other option is we take Suppression Ray, but that doesn't really do as much for us. No, we take the Belcher. And then we can hold this sink. And if they go for some sort of Bloom situation, or if they go for our Bloom, then we get to just like bring it back and like loop it with Tameshi, and then if they don't, we get to loop enough mana first that we can sink before playing Belcher, although killing Belcher in response doesn't actually matter, so. They kind of have to kill it in upkeep, because otherwise they just die. Cauldron Familiar is a little bit annoying. It's not making a food yet, but I mean, they could have, I guess they need, what do they need? They need Samwise? All right, so we tick down the Bloom. I could have some sort of graveyard based thing, I guess. We'll see. So we're casting, passing into our draw. They just let us go to main. What? I mean, okay. So I could take back Jawari. The other thing here, though, is if I go for the Tameshi and they have some sort of like graveyard hate, does that matter? I think it doesn't. I'm just gonna make some extra mana. Because I can just bring it back, right? Bounce the Jawari. But then, like, if I had to, I could just reactivate in response and still have enough mana. Make a little bit more mana. Bring the bloom back again. Hydroelectric. What is that? That's 8. Actually, hang on, I'll make white here. Bring the bloom back again. Pick up a soporific. More mana. Get up again. Guess we're just going all in with as much defense as we can here. Can play another land, actually. So I should play a soporific, paying 3, get a little bit more mana. We'll sink the Haywire, not that it really matters, but just in case. We can try and eat our bloom, but they choose not to because it, again, doesn't matter. Play a Belcher. And we've got our activation. Holding up Sync plus Jawari plus Sync. Double Sync plus Jawari. All right. Should be good. Yep, we get there. Very nice. 4-0, 8-0. One more round. Okay, round number 5. We are on the play. We have Shoal, we have 5 lands, and we have Thunder Trap. Now, one of these lands can be pitched to the Shoal, perhaps. Our opponent does not appear to be a Jegantha deck. We have 2 and 3 cost. I think this is a keep, and we just hope that like Thunder Trap hits something. I'm not like super excited about it, but we lead on Suppression Ray, or Orderly Plaza, whatever. And yeah, again, we are leaning pretty heavily on this Thunder Trap, but it's there for a reason. Flooded Strand. Imagine playing lands, right? Steam Vents, okay. Preordain. Classic Murktide? Wizards? That like the Wizards control deck, maybe? Or like the blue-red Wizards, maybe? I don't know. Regardless, we're not countering that. Go to our turn. Draw. Suppression Ray. I will want to play that, but I think Hydroelectric, although actually Seagate is going to be what I play. Because Hydroelectric is maybe more valuable as a 3 for disrupting. We do hit Bloom. We also hit Seagate, Suppression. I'm going to take the Bloom. Just have a bunch of mana. It's good with a Tameshi if we get one. See what they have. Next turn, it could be Hydroelectric to hold up Sync, or it could just be the tap land. Snare. So I think I'm gonna play the tap land, and then I have Snare up, as well as Shoal Pitch either Hydroelectric or Bain. Depending on what they do end step here, I may go for Snare. They don't. Well, they don't do anything. Expecting like Counterspell out of them. Now we're just looking for a Belcher. So I feel like we have a decent suite of protection. Let's suspend that. I'm going to play the Hydroelectric. Probably should have been attacking with this Thunder Trap. Actually, okay, yeah, because I don't have a Flare. I was thinking about like the possibility of they like flash in a blocker. But at this point, I'm probably going to be holding up mana for Flare anyway. So. Thunder Trap, Surveil, good. Well, not good, but like fine. And get to play the tempo game. See what they've got. Ring would be a little bit annoying, but it doesn't look like it is. That this turn? Yeah, the bloom comes off this turn. Question is going to be, do they go for the counter there? Yeah, I'll trade a snare here. Don't really need the bloom, but I think I'm kind of expecting them to counter this again, in which case I'm probably okay just losing 2 counters here, or stripping 2 counters out of their hand. In which case I could actually also sink my own snare. Would I rather have that, or would I rather have the sink? I certainly don't want to sink a counterspell of theirs. Oh, it's opponent controls, never mind. Alright, so that's gonna happen. Now I could Shoal Pitch Bain, I don't think that's worth it here. Pick up a Philology, I will play that. And we can get either a Jawari or a Sink. Guess I'll take a Sink. Well, okay, yeah, I'll take a Sink. And then do I play it or not? If I draw Tameshi, it turns into 1,000,000 mana. I think I don't play it, though. Oh, I meant to attack. That was a misclick. Alright, so we have another bloom, not next turn, but the turn after. We have Shoal potentially for this turn. They could Murktide here. That'd be a little bit annoying. We do get to just sink the Murktide, though, if that's the case. Okay, iteration is less scary. 2 counterspells already gone is nice as well. Misty. Sure. I could have shoaled that. I don't think it's worth it. I want to hold this for like a counterspell if I can. Really looking for like a Tameshi. Probably will play a sink this turn, but depends on what I draw. If I draw another land, I guess I won't. Unless it's like a land that I'd rather play, aka Waterlogged. Okay, another bloom. They're going for Vendilion Click. So I could shoal pitch sink on this. Alternately, if I just let them click me. Alternately, I sink them, suspend a bloom. I think I'd rather not make that tempo play. Okay, I think I'm gonna shoal pitch sink. Spend a bloom, play a Bain, and then this time remember to attack with my Thunder Trap. Alright, so we have sink if we need it. They have a lot of cards. We have a lot of mana. Potentially. Not quite yet. But, I mean, I'm okay with these blooms eating counters, basically, because what else is it gonna... I mean, like, I have all of the mana. I don't necessarily need more mana. What I need is to be able to resolve a Belcher. Pick up a Thunder Trap. That's actually pretty good, because I could Offspring this. I'd have to either burn my Bloom or play the Sink for it. I think it's worth playing the Sink for this, though. Get 2 new cards. The Offspring is, I thought Offspring was a separate trigger. Maybe it's not a separate trigger. So that counter, I guess that counters the whole thing. All right, so we don't actually get the Offspring trigger. A little bit annoying. We're now top decking, which is not the greatest. Maybe I shouldn't have gone for... yeah, in hindsight, I should not have gone for that play then. I should have held up the Sink. What else do they have? They've got some sort of 3-cost thing. Flame of Anor. Alright, so they drew some cards. This is what I would call bad for us. Any turn now, like a Murktide or something is going to come down, and we are just massively behind on cards. I mean, Tameshi would be a decent pickup, but would it even resolve? I kind of expect things not to resolve at this point. Again, I've missed 2 damage here that I absolutely should not have missed. I guess if the situation really mattered, though, they would have killed the Thunder Trap, because I think they likely have removal. Okay, and they do have a Crackling Drake. A little bit annoying. Yeah, I mean, maybe it was a mistake to play that Thunder Trap Offspringed. I was thinking it was like a separate trigger, like, but I guess it's not. That's not a good card. Well, it's what we have, you know. What could we even draw here? And that's gonna bolt us. We're at 8. 1 off of lethal. Do they have another bolt? So far, no. They could put another instant or sorcery in the yard pretty easily, I imagine. It's sorcery, but again, we don't get the energy, so it doesn't really do anything. Going to 6. Attack. Puts us 2-1. Well, we're not dead unless they have another bolt. Pick up a flare. That is not going to do it. So, I mean, we needed to see anything that was business. I think we made reasonable decisions there, other than I think I would, in hindsight, I would not have Offspring to the Thunder Trap, so I think that was a little bit of a mistake. We would have been a couple cards deeper potentially if they let it resolve, though. Maybe they just counter it anyway, so it's a little bit hard to say. I think they maybe don't counter just a loose Thunder Trap with other mana up, though. And then we have the Flare. Yeah, I need to read your cards, right? I thought this was like a kicker that was like a separate thing, like it would be a trigger basically, and then you could counter the original, but then the trigger would still happen, I thought, but I guess not. You'll learn something new every day. All right, so we're down a game. Begin sideboarding against control, like the Wizards, you know, like that deck. So we want Pact, we want Snare. Force is not actually that good. Harbinger, no. Unable to Scream is sort of interesting against a Drake, but I think it's not ultimately worth it. I mean, Force is like sort of okay. Oh, Dispute we want. That's something. What don't we need? Cut like a Bain. Maybe a Falaji. Maybe 2 Falaji. And then like well, I don't want to cut 2 Falaji. Maybe 1 Flare, 1 Falaji. The creatures are probably not going to stay in play. And then maybe I cut 1 more land. Bain. Like this. Yeah, okay, let's try like this. All right, what do we have? We have land, Thunder Trap, Flare, Tameshi Shoal. Yeah, I'll keep. Seems fine. Don't have a Bloom, but this is a slower matchup. Ray on turn 1, or Plaza, excuse me. And then we're looking at Hydroelectric, Thunder Trap on 2, holding up Flare. Now they could certainly have Snare. We pick up a Belcher, which is pretty decent. And if they have Snare, that's just what it's going to be. I can't really play around this. Need to just play this. Ideally, I want to find another land, actually. And yeah, I'll take a Suppression Ray. It's the only thing I can take anyway. Probably they're getting a Surveil land here, it feels like. Yeah. Okay. So ideally, I can use this like Flare Shoal to defend my Belcher on 4, and then like untap with it on 5. They've got a Magebane Lizard. That doesn't really matter. I mean, it does some damage to me, but we're not a combo like deck like that. We're like a 1-card deck. Play Orderly Plaza. The extra Belcher is really not so bad, because it's like something that I can use to, or the extra Shoal, because it's something I can like pitch Shoal to have a 2. Blooded Strand, all right. They have Bolt on our Thunder Trap. So I can sack the Thunder Trap to counter this. I don't really see a reason to do that. It's a little bit annoying that it gets bolted, but kind of no way around it. All right. So we go to our turn. Up another Tameshi. That's really not what we need. We'll pay 3 here. And I mean, we do get to have... I think we just jam Belcher. And if they counter it, then okay, they counter it, right? Like... We have Shoal Pitch Shoal if they have a 2-mana counter. They could have like 2 mana plus Force Negation or something. But... yeah, I mean... That's what it is. They could also have like an artifact or enchantment removal here, but and we can't beat everything, right? I think that was our window to try to like make something happen. One blue, Preordain maybe. Okay, blue expressive. Expressive is not the most scary because it is a decent chunk of their mana. Magebane, not really a big threat. If this flips back around, I'm probably gonna board out another flare, just because if they're sort of aggressively removing our creatures, then I don't think they're moving quickly though here. What is it? Thunder Trap. That doesn't matter. So it looks like we're getting game 2 here. But yeah, if they're aggressively removing our creatures, like bolts are still in, flare does get a good bit worse. So we don't actually have that many creatures. They probably just want to see what we boarded in, but then they shouldn't have showed us the Thunder Trap. All right, so we draw a card, and then we shoot them in the face. Bam. Belcher. All right, so we've got one more game here for all the marbles. Try and get that 5-0. Yeah, I think we want another flare out. I think I want the Philology back in. Do I want anything else? Unable to Scream. The Magebane is really not so scary. Consign, I don't think so. I have all my shoals. Bain, I could bring a Bain back in on the play actually, so maybe that's more important. And then yeah, let's go like this. Yeah, just the extra land on the play I think is probably important enough. Or no, wait, we're on the draw. Whoops, never mind. I got that all wrong. So we've got 2 Thunder Traps, a shoal, some land. Yeah, this seems good. We'll keep this. Do need to find a Belcher. But the question is gonna be, what do we lead on? We have Whir actually. So Whir on the end step would be pretty good. So I guess it's lead on Bain. 1 Thunder Trap could potentially be shoal food for a 2 to stop a counter spell. But then turn 2, we're going to be playing a Thunder Trap. On turn 1, not a lot we can do. They have a Preordain, that's fine. They did mull to 6, which is good for us. So we're going to have card advantage. If we draw a Snare, I will lead on an untapped land, I guess. Pact. I mean, that's eventually good. Not immediately good. And then it's going to be Seagate, Thunder Trap on 2, it looks like. If they play something hateful, then I can certainly shoal it. But, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, what... Listen, we've played through a lot of hate artifacts here, so, like, what are the chances that they have their own Thunder Trap? I think I'm just going to let that happen. Not super concerned. I mean, it does enable their flares, which is a little bit annoying. And they reveal a Flame of Anor. Okay. So, but yeah, like, I don't necessarily want to lose my shoal to that. We pick up a flare of our own, which is pretty good. I mean, if I'm not going to draw like a Belcher or an immediate way to get Belcher, it's like the next best thing. Thunder Trap. When they're letting that happen, after a long think, suggesting they do probably have a flare, and we will take a Belcher. Exactly what we needed there. So now we just need some land. So we do actually have a pretty stacked defensive hand between like Flare, Shoal, Pact. The other thing is if we don't draw the 4th land, we do get to at least whir for a Bloom and then try and win on the same turn. A little bit annoying if they hit our Thunder Trap with a removal spell and then turn off our Flare. Pick up another Flare. So yeah, I think I like playing the Soporific Springs and then going for the end step Whir. Or if they do something I care about more, I can just like hardcast Flare. Yeah, I mean, yeah, whirring on the main there doesn't do anything. So hopefully we draw a land, but if we don't, it's, I would say, still okay. We want to definitely leverage the card advantage that we have right now. I mean, we're on 7. They're going to draw to 6, but I mean, they were on the play. I guess maybe we don't have that much advantage. We're just like up a card. Sometimes when they like play a land, though, it feels like we're up more than one card, because does the land really matter is the question. All right, so I'm going to go for Whir here. The first thing I will defend it with is the Thunder Trap Flare. But let's see what they do. And then I have like Shoal Pitch Flare or Shoal Pitch Thunder Trap. Obviously can't Pact. Go to our turn. Draw. That is not a land. However, that is a Tameshi. Tameshi is a big deal. So if I Tameshi here, I should be able to, yeah, so the Tameshi, I think I should just be able to win here. And then that also means I have double Flare, Shoal Trainer, Pact. So if I think I'm just going like this, and then I'll go blue, blue, white. And I will just fight them over whatever they're doing with Flares, Pacts, Shoal. And hopefully we could get it here. Let's see. Each of those represents 6 mana, so that in total represents 7 mana by bouncing 2 lands. We could bounce 1 more land for +2 more, not that that's necessarily useful. But if we draw like a Jawari or something like that, maybe it could be. So we'll bounce the Bloom. Returning a Soporific Springs, I think. Again, we have a bunch of defensive spells. I can Flare, sack Thunder Trap if needed. And even if something goes wrong here and they like manage to kill the Tameshi, we do at least get to... Okay, they're playing something. Let's say we do at least get to play the Belcher, probably. What are they doing with 3? Click, maybe? We'd also get to replay one of the lands. I would be pretty happy with click. Unless they're thinking about counterspell versus click. Clicking like the Belcher out of our hands that they expect us to have here. They're going for Consign. Consign replicating once. Okay, so let me see. What are they countering? Are they countering the draw? They're countering the draw, right? Yeah, that's targeting the draw. That's okay. I don't actually care about that. Oh yeah, because that's the trigger. The other one is activated. So I don't actually need the draw. I mean, that is actually something that could have been scary. It could have been essentially 3 spells. So I'm glad that they didn't save that. I mean, we could have actually beat it if they had nothing else between Flare, Flare, Pact, but would have been a little bit dicey. All right, so let's make some white mana. Or, okay, no, let's make some blue mana. And let's bring our Bloom back again. Bring back Seagate. Play the Seagate. Hang life. So here I can play Belcher. If I need more mana, I can loop that. Yeah, alright, so I'm going to play Belcher here. Okay, so they flare. We will flare their flare. I guess they were worried about potentially like Seagate or something like that. And they scoop it up. So we get there with the 5-0. Very, very sweet. Let's take a look back at the deck list. Okay, so the deck felt great. Honestly, this feels kind of similar to Ad Nauseam, right? You've got a Lotus Bloom. You've got a bunch of defensive cards that can be used a little bit creatively to look better than the sum of their parts. And you have a, you know, like a 1-card combo finish. Deck felt good. I will probably be playing more of this, although who's to say where it settles in the new meta that we may be living in next week. I don't know. Until next time, keep waiting for that ban, because I don't know, people are on probably a little bit of a break here for the most part. But Lotus Bloom, great card. Probably my favorite modern legal card, actually. Dark Ritual's my favorite card overall. But yeah, keep comboing. Bye, everyone.